Hello everyone and welcome back to a little bit of random. My name's Amanda and today I have for you the Caffeine and Legend monthly subscription box. As I said in my previous video, I did pause my Lush subscription box. It was getting rather costly for the products I was getting. Not that I didn't love them, but these last two boxes that were set to come out in December and November, I wasn't 100% a fan of, and I had been wanting to try something new. So in my previous video, you will see my P. Louise unboxing, and then as far as this video, this is the other subscription I got, and then these two combined were the same amount that I was paying, oddly enough, for my Lush subscription. So once we get into pricing and what comes in here, you'll see why I decided to go ahead and make that change. Plus, I have a huge backlog of Lush products right now that I need to use that were just getting pushed back as new product was coming in. So that is why I decided to step back and try something different. Now, with Caffeine and Legends, it is a monthly book subscription box. There are other things that they include with the book. You're guaranteed a drink, or in my case, I got the tier that gives you all three drinks. So the drinking chocolate, the coffee, and the tea. They do have one that's just a combination of two. So either, tea or chocolate, chocolate and coffee, coffee and tea, chocolate and coffee. So there's that one. And then you have the cheapest tier, which is just one of the drinks. You can also on the cheapest tier, well, actually, I think you could do it on the two cheapest. So of the three tiers, on tier 1 and tier 2, you can use the roulette option and it'll randomly generate what you get. So you might not always get coffee. You might get coffee and tea. And I know I'm sorry, I'm mistaken. That's only for the lowest tier. So you can use the roulette option and you'll get a random. So instead of always getting drinking chocolate, if you use the roulette option, you will get, one of either the tea, the coffee, or the hot chocolate for that month, or drinking chocolate for that month. And it'll just be switched up on which one you get for that, your next box and then your next box. So every one will be different. It won't always be a coffee or a tea or a chocolate. It'll be one of the three. So you're guaranteed a drink, you're guaranteed a book. Everything else in this box is subject to change. So in the past, they've done snacks, they've done collectibles, they've done bookmarks, they've done mugs, they've done a variety of things. So it's not always going to be like food. But you will always get that book and that drink. And either a food item, a collectible, maybe a food item and a collectible. Again, it just depends on what the company curated for that month's box. Everything that's curated is based on the theme of the book. Okay, so with all that out of the way, and thank you for bearing with me while I explain, let's dive into the box. Now, I did cut it along the seam here just to make my life easier, so I didn't have to bring, a knife or scissors back into my office. But like I said, we're going to discover this together. The funny thing is, the first box of this got lost in the mail, so the company did issue me another one right away. It came in 2 days, so that was really awesome. Their customer service is top-notch, so if you ever have a problem, reach out to their customer service. They're awesome. Now, that's just for the first box. Like, this is my first time with this company, and I can honestly say that. So that's awesome. Okay, so you get a card on the top of the box with theme. We have a seat at the table. That's this month's theme for November 2025. You have a brief little letter from the author just talking about the book. It looks like they're giving gratitude for the book being included in the box for the company and for the readers themselves. It's talking a little bit, a blurb about the book and what it's about, but I want to be surprised, so I'm not going to read that. And then you have the information about the box. So you have the different information on the drink options, where they sourced that locally made product. So so every month the drink that you get is from a local, like, small business. So it's always going to be produced from a small business, never going to be a name brand company, or like a big box, I should say, company, because they're branded, but big box company. So there's information depending on which one you got, or for me, if you got all three, you get the information for all three of the different vendors that they use. They don't all come from the same vendor, even though they are technically all drinks. So that's cool too. And then on the back, it looks like they give you a recipe for each of the drinks. So this recipe is for, let me look at this really quick. Ingredients: brown sugar, water, vanilla extract, pinch of salt, 1 tablespoon of cardamom seeds, sauce, bring to a boil, store. Oh, so it's a simple syrup. Okay, so it's a simple syrup to flavor your drink. So the coffee, the tea, the drinking chocolate, you know, any and all. So that's the recipe for this month. They also give you directions on how to make the coffee into a latte, which is really cool. And then for the chocolate lovers, it says add a spoonful to your drinking chocolate to give your ritual and cozy fall twist. So it's telling you how much to put in each version of the drink. So the tea, the coffee, and then the chocolate. So that's really cool. Love this. I'm going to keep this. And then let's get in. So first thing on the top of my box, I see from Wicked Crisps. These are a sweet potato souffle crisp. That's what they look like. They remind me of an arare, so like a Japanese rice cracker. And when I fill the bag, I'm also getting that kind of puffed rice texture. I don't know if they are puffed rice. I would have to read the ingredients on the back. But being it says sweet potato, I'm assuming it's puffed sweet potato starch, if I had to hazard a guess. But that's that. I do love sweet potatoes, so I think that those are going to be really good. Hopefully, it looks like there's honey on the bag, and so I'm assuming that it's going to be like a salty sweet switch situation, but I'll let you all know because I'll do a video on that snack on the channel as a review. So I will get to that eventually. Next we have on top, it says a dark roast for second chances. And this is Obsidian. And it says, let's see, it is by Rich and Syrup Classic Coffee. So that's the company that made it. And then at the bottom, it is a Caffeine and Legend X Press House Coffee collab. So it does say that at the bottom. Tasting notes are graham cracker, blackberry, and creme brulee. So that does sound really good. These are whole beans. So if you don't have a whole bean grinder, I just happen to have one. But if you don't, then the coffee option might not be the best for you. Not every bag is a whole bean. There are some ground additions that they put in the box from just me looking at past unboxings. But primarily it's going to be a whole bean that you'll have to grind. So if you don't have a coffee grinder, I recommend that you don't go with the coffee option. And that's just purely to save you time and energy. Okay. I mean, you could always buy a coffee grinder too. They're not very expensive, but you know, then you're purchasing something else to utilize to have the coffee when you could have gotten the tea or the chocolate in the cheaper tier and been able to drink it all the time just as it was. So next we have a Cliche Teas Present. I'm going to say that says present. And then this is Cozy. So I guess the name of this tea blend is called Cozy, and I'm just reading straight down the label. And it says a chocolate Earl Grey tea from Meg's Tea Room, loose leaf black tea. So it is a black tea. It's loose leaf. Tasting notes looks like it's going to be chocolate and Earl Grey. Earl Grey is a classic English tea. They usually drink it throughout the day. And then the chocolate is just going to add that depth to it. I assume this is going to be more on the side of dark chocolate because of the Earl Grey. It has to be able to be robust enough to stand up against it. One of my favorite all-time teas is Lady Grey, which is a lavender-infused Earl Grey. So I will, odds are, really love this, and I'm glad that I got it. for these types of things, I do buy just from the grocery store the 100-pack like reusable tea filters. I make my little tea bag, I twist it down, I clip it at the edges, let it sit in my tea for, I usually do about 5 minutes, depending on if the instructions say differently. This does have steeping instructions on the back, so then I'll just follow this. It says 4 to 5 minutes. That's what I would normally do anyways, so that falls right in line. Yeah, so really like that. That's going to be awesome. And like I said, you could pick up those loose leaf filters at any grocery store. They're pretty inexpensive. I think I got those for $2.49. So, and it's a 100-pack. So they do last a long time as well. Okay, so then I have, tried to adjust the fade that's happening behind me, but unfortunately it's white walls in my office and it's pretty late at night, so the only light is coming from a giant ceiling lamp, so I do apologize. I just got home late from the gym, so I'm doing this recording. Okay, so then finally we have the, well, I shouldn't say finally, but for the last drink option, we have the Caraco. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. And this is pumpkin spiced hot chocolate with cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, and ginger. So that sounds amazing. I'm going to love that. I love a hot chocolate. I drink them all the time. I have, just for sake of showing, I just bought this drinking chocolate from Trader Joe's. This is really good. They don't need much. Usually they're like, if you like a dark chocolate, candy bar, if you've ever had like the 60% cocoa candy bars, these types of drinking chocolates, unless they say that they're sweetened, taste like you're eating just a spiced or flavored version of one of those 60% cocoa candy bars. So you can compare it to that. In terms of flavor, again, we have the instructions on the back for how much to use and how long to steep it. And yeah. Oh, actually, it looks like this has coconut sugar, so this one will be pre-sweetened, so I don't have to do any of that. It's going to be sweetened with the spice blend. So that's really cool. Love that I don't have to add any extra sugar to it, because that saves me calories. So I will definitely enjoy that as well. Love anything pumpkin spice flavored, anything cinnamon, trying to think, ginger snaps. I love spice cake, so I love all those warming spices just in general. The pumpkin just puts it over the top for me. Okay, next item, and this is not a food or a drink, but one of the collectibles that I had mentioned come in the box. This is a notepad. It says Meals and Merriment. I like the design. It's very like it's giving recipe card. So you see the little ingredients at the bottom. Like, it's really cool. And it says, may your table be full, your mug never empty, and your stories ever flowing. And as I said, they curate these items based on the theme of the book. The book, when we get to it, I'm sure we'll see how all these things tie into that theme. It does have a big magnet on the back, so I assume that you're meant to stick this on the side of a filing cabinet, or probably on a fridge since it's food related. But you could stick it on like the back of a filing cabinet, or the front of a filing cabinet. If you have one of those magnetic boards in your kitchen, like in your pantry, you could stick it there. Just depends on where you'd want to put it. It does need a magnetic surface to kind of stay up, or it's just going to sit, flat like a notepad. Either way, whatever works for you as the as a user of stationery, or just note-taking in general. This video is super awkward. Again, it's my first box, so I'm trying to get my feel for it. When I do next month's unboxing, because I did sign up for the reoccurring subscription, I'm sure this is going to flow so much better. So please forgive me. I know it's very wonky today for me with this unboxing, but we're trucking it through, and we're almost there. So yeah, so I really like that as well. I love stationery. I collect stationery. I collect writing utensils. A big lover of scrapbooking. So I will get a lot of use of that, especially when I need to send my sister to the store for ingredients for a recipe I'm going to make. That'll come in handy because I could tell her what the recipe is and the ingredients I need right on that page, so she kind of knows, you know what I mean? So it's not like she's asking me what's for dinner. She's already going to know what it is, and she's going to know everything I need from her from the store and the quantities right on the same notepad sheet. So I do love it for that, but I cook a lot of the meals in our house, so it speaks to me. If you're not a cook, if you don't make a lot of shopping lists, then it probably wouldn't be for you. But for me, because I am both those things, like I do the shopping most of the time, but when I don't, like I said, it's my sister. Oh, and I do primarily the cooking. She cooks the weekends because she's off. Other than that, I do all the cooking in the house, so it's beneficial for me. Okay, and last, because our box is now empty, we have our book of the month. That's a different subscription, but you know what I mean. I used to get that subscription. I don't think I ever featured it on this channel. Well, I'll have to go back and look and see if I have, but I used to get the book of the month. Okay, so this is called, oh, and I'm sorry, I just took it out of the little wax paper envelope it was in. But this is called Recipes for an Unexpected Afterlife by Destin Modden, and hopefully I said that correctly, but that's what it looks like. Isn't that so cute? It's giving like Wizard of Id, is it not, with the comic strip? I love that. Are there... Oh, I was hoping there'd be little illustrations inside, but you know what? I'm probably still going to like it, so I'm not going to knock it. In every book from Caffeine and Legends, and look at that design there. That's pretty. That's like 1920s, 1930s wallpaper. I love that. You get a book plate that's signed by the author, so that is his signature, and it says the title of the book. I'm sorry, I don't know why I blinked there real quick. I just wanted to verify, I guess, that I was reading it correctly. It does look like it's on this perforated sticky paper, so if I wanted to, I could take off the back of it and stick it in the book. But I probably won't read this right away because I have already 2 books that I'm reading for this month already for my book club. So I won't get to this right away. So right now I'm going to leave the book plate just stay in there. And then when I'm ready to actually read the book, I'll stick the book plate on so it doesn't get lost. And then I'll add it to my shelf that has all my signed editions of books. So that's what I'll do with that. Another big draw for me for getting this subscription was the signed book. Because to me, it's just that little something extra from the author that makes the book so special that it's going to live on my collectibles shelf. So that's where that is, or that's where we are with that. And then last thing, and I didn't even notice this until like I opened the book, there is a little sticker that they included. It's a scroll with different breads and coffee and cream and a quill. And it says, stories are best served warm. So that's what the sticker looks like. That's really cute. I love when they throw in little extras like this. I know it's just a sticker. Most people would say, well, you know, what's the big deal? It's a sticker. But it's cute, and being a scrapbooker, I utilize stickers. I even utilize stickers in my planners. So I get much joy from this. So I will definitely put it in my I'll take it out for you all, my little portfolio of stickers here that I have, and I'll stick that in one of the pockets, and then next time I scrapbook, then I can put that sticker on a page, or I journal that, you know, maybe in my book journal, my reading journal, I can put this in because it's reading related. But yeah, it's really cute. So I like those little touches. It just makes boxes like this so much more special, in my opinion. Okay. Well, that's everything we got in the November Caffeine and Legends subscription box. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to really like this subscription. I'm glad that I took a break from my Lush Kitchen box. I did love it so much, but like I said, with the backlog of products, it was just becoming too much to try to get it all used. And there's all these fun subscriptions coming up, especially around the holidays, that I like wouldn't have been on my radar. This just happened to come up on Instagram, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. I want to subscribe to it. So yeah, that's why I did it. But again, thank you all so much for joining me today. Sorry about that. If you like this video, please do give it a like. If you really liked it, you can subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be unboxing the Caffeine and Legends box moving forward, so into December and, you know, for the foreseeable future. So if you like to read, if you like specialty drinks, if you like collectibles, feel free to join. Yeah, other than that, though, just have a beautiful rest of your night, and I'll see you in the next video.